Okay, here we're looking at Nika's rudder, and this is called a semi-balanced rudder, where there is a skeg, but the skeg doesn't go all the way down to the very end bottom of the rudder, but it's only a fractional portion of the rudder on the top end part. But just looking at that, an engineer would wonder, how do you remove the rudder? Because it's essentially locked into place with that skeg in the upper portion. So I've looked online, I have not found anything. I definitely haven't found anything on YouTube. So let's figure this out ourselves on this video. Okay, from the top what we see is the tiller. And the tiller is connected to the tiller shaft or post with this Allen nut, and then this is just a locking screw to keep it in dead center position. So that definitely should come off, and then this will come off. But then there's also a seal and probably some type of bearing along the shaft through the boat itself out to the skeg and down through the rudder, and let's figure out how that disassembles. Okay, here we're looking at the rudder post, and there's an assembly piece at the top, kind of like some kind of terminal, or what would you call this? Just a this is where it mates with the deck from underneath. There, that's for an autopilot. That's like an auxiliary tiller. And then here you have a long piece of stainless steel tubing that fiberglasses into the hull. And somewhere in here you're probably going to have some way that it seals. Or actually that just comes up to the water line, just comes to here. I think that's just the way it works. That tube extends far enough where the water line is right here. Because I don't see any type of stuffing box on there. And I'm wondering, how does this thing release from itself? I'm sure I have to take off this. I'm gonna take that clamp off. That's a safety clamp so it doesn't drop. Okay, so the Allen bolt comes off. And then the rudder comes off. And then we're looking into here. And this is like a square spacer. That comes off. It has a tightening nut on it. And then we're just looking in here. We see one screw over there. So that screw just came out, and it's a sheet metal screw. Okay, so I've taken the autopilot rudder off, and I'm just looking at this, and I see this stainless steel tube going through the boat. I don't see a seal on it, and so I've taken out 4 screws that attach this seal looking material. Just gonna take that out. So here we continue looking at this arrangement, and this turned out that it came out, it had a hole drilled and a screw stuck in it, which doesn't look professional, but I guess that's so you can retrieve these. Yeah, that's not just a fluke. These are balls that are put in there as an engineering solution. So let's pull all those out and make another analysis. So I have removed yet another 1/3 part bushing and uncovered more of these bearing. More cleaning, and I've discovered that there's a drain plug right here. I saw that from the bottom actually. I wasn't sure. I stuck a... So I'm gonna try to make an attempt at loosening the set screws on that. Okay, so here is the layout of the components that comprise the upper end of the rudder stock, mainly speaking about how to disassemble this rudder and remove the rudder. So important is this ring stop with Allen key set screws, 4 of them, and those have matching set drills, drill indentations on the rudder stock itself. And so this had to be taken off. In order to do that, I had to fabricate this tiny Allen key and slowly by slowly turn this key, and it was painstaking, but we finally got it, and it feels good to be past that stage. Before that, we had to remove these bearing balls, which were at the bottom, just sitting at the bottom of this reservoir. And then on top of those bearing balls, you had these bushing bearings that were sitting around the rudder stock as a sort of bushing. But this was not, had nothing to do with holding it up, but you had to take this out of the way in order to get to the ring. And so that's mainly the mystery solved on the top end of this unit. Now I got to get to the bottom end and deal with the skeg, which I think I need to grind down and find bolts.